Icon Park debuted in Orlando, Florida, on May 4, 2015, quickly establishing itself as a premier entertainment destination. Spanning a vast area, it offers more than 40 diverse restaurants, a selection of bars and boutique shops that attract millions of visitors annually. The centerpiece of the park's allure is its collection of exhilarating rides, with the Orlando FreeFall emerging as one of its most prominent attractions. Touted as the world's tallest drop tower, the FreeFall stands at an astonishing 430 feet, drawing thrill-seekers eager to experience its adrenaline-pumping plunge. The ride, constructed by the Austrian company Funtime, boasts state-of-the-art engineering and was marketed as a can't-miss experience. However, its fame took a tragic turn in 2022 when it became synonymous with a catastrophic accident that led to the loss of a young life, leaving a lasting shadow over the park's reputation. The Orlando FreeFall ride gained notoriety in early 2022 following the death of Tyre Sampson, a 14-year-old from Missouri. On March 25th, Tyre fell from the ride during its descent, a moment that was captured on video and spread widely across social media, amplifying the tragedy's impact. The incident reverberated globally, sparking conversations about ride safety standards and negligence in amusement parks. As news of the tragedy spread, details emerged about how the harness failed to adequately secure Tyre, raising questions about the safety measures in place. The shocking event brought grief to Tyre's family, friends, and community, while igniting public outrage at the perceived preventable nature of the accident. It also spurred investigations into the circumstances surrounding the ride's operations, casting a spotlight on the park's safety protocols, or lack thereof, further tarnishing Icon Park's once celebrated reputation. Born on August 17, 2007, Tyre Sampson was a bright and promising young athlete from Missouri. Known to his friends and teammates as Big Tick, a nickname that symbolized his potential as a future football star, Tyre had dreams of using his talent to pave a better path for himself and his family. At just 14 years old, he stood an imposing 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighed 383 pounds, making him a dominant presence both on and off the field. Despite his physical stature, Tyre was also highly regarded for his academic achievements and his kind, approachable personality. He was described as polite and well-mannered, someone who could easily connect with people around him. His size, which contributed to his football success, unfortunately played a tragic role in the accident that took his life, highlighting the importance of adhering to ride safety guidelines. During spring break in March 2022, Tyre Sampson visited Icon Park in Orlando with friends and family to enjoy a day filled with excitement and fun. The trip was a long-anticipated opportunity for Tyre, who had enthusiastically prepared for it in the days leading up to the visit. According to his mother, Tyre left home eager and full of anticipation, giving her a heartfelt goodbye with plans to reconnect after the trip. At the park, however, Tyre's large frame became an obstacle, as ride operators at several attractions expressed concerns about his safety due to his size. These instances, while disappointing for Tyre, underscored the critical need for adherence to safety protocols designed to protect riders. Tragically, the warnings he received about his size would later become a haunting prelude to the disaster on the FreeFall ride, where safety standards were ultimately overlooked. As the evening wound down at Icon Park, Tyre Sampson and his group decided to cap off their day with one last thrill: the Orlando FreeFall ride. Despite earlier incidents where Tyre was denied access to other rides due to his size, he was allowed to board the FreeFall, a towering drop ride known for its dramatic descent. Standing at 430 feet tall, the ride promised an exhilarating experience for those brave enough to face it. However, photographs and witness accounts from the night revealed glaring safety concerns. Tyre's shoulder harness appeared ill-fitting, unable to properly secure him, and he reportedly expressed his unease to friends, noting that the harness was moving. Despite these red flags, the ride commenced, setting the stage for a preventable tragedy. This critical lapse in judgment by the ride operators highlighted systemic safety flaws that would soon become the focus of investigations. The FreeFall ride turned into a scene of horror as Tyre Sampson was dislodged from his seat during the ride's descent, falling over 200 feet to his death. The tragic event occurred in full view of other passengers, park visitors, and Tyre's friends, leaving them in shock and despair. Witnesses reported hearing Tyre's heartbreaking last words, "Tell my mom and dad I loved them," before he fell. The incident was recorded on video, capturing the horrifying moment and the frantic reactions of onlookers, who screamed and pleaded for the ride to stop. Emergency services were called, but despite their swift arrival, Tyre succumbed to his injuries, likely on impact. The traumatic nature of the event deeply affected those present and ignited a wave of public outrage, drawing global attention to the park's inadequate safety measures and the devastating consequences of their failure. Following Tyre's fall from the FreeFall ride, emergency services were promptly alerted by onlookers. Despite their rapid response, it was too late to save the 14-year-old, as he had likely died on impact. Witnesses described the aftermath as chaotic and heartbreaking, with a crowd gathering around Tyre's lifeless body, surrounded by a pool of blood. Some onlookers attempted to provide help or comfort, while others were too stunned to react. Paramedics confirmed Tyre's death at the scene, marking the tragic end of a day that had started with so much joy and anticipation. The harrowing loss left his family devastated, and Tyre's parents expressed their anguish publicly, questioning how such a tragedy could have occurred. The immediate aftermath highlighted the urgent need for a comprehensive investigation to determine the factors that led to this preventable disaster. The investigation into Tyre Sampson's death uncovered critical safety oversights that directly contributed to the tragedy. The FreeFall ride had a weight limit of 286 pounds, a guideline Tyre exceeded by nearly 100 pounds. Despite this, he was allowed to board, raising serious questions about the operator's adherence to safety protocols. Additionally, the ride lacked essential safety features that are standard in most drop tower rides. Unlike many similar attractions, the FreeFall did not have secondary restraints, such as seatbelts, to secure riders in the event of a harness malfunction. The reliance on a single harness, which failed to fit Tyre properly, proved to be a fatal design flaw. The investigation's findings highlighted a series of negligent decisions and systemic failures, sparking public outrage and calls for stricter regulation of amusement park rides to prevent such tragedies in the future. Further scrutiny of the FreeFall tragedy revealed glaring issues with the safety procedures at Icon Park. The workers responsible for inspecting and approving the ride's operations were found to be unqualified, with many being teenagers lacking the necessary training and expertise. This lack of professionalism extended to the ride's manufacturer, Funtime, which claimed the ride underwent daily inspections. However, the absence of critical safety features and the failure to enforce weight limits painted a picture of negligence. Funtime deflected responsibility, blaming park operators for not adhering to safety guidelines. This back and forth highlighted systemic failures in accountability, from the manufacturer's design flaws to the park's operational lapses. The tragedy underscored the urgent need for stricter regulations and oversight in the amusement park industry to ensure the safety of all riders and prevent future tragedies from occurring. In the aftermath of Tyre Sampson's tragic death, his family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Icon Park, the ride operator, and Funtime, the manufacturer. The lawsuit alleged gross negligence on multiple fronts, including the failure to provide adequate safety restraints and allowing Tyre to board despite exceeding the weight limit. The family's legal team emphasized the shocking absence of a simple seatbelt feature on a ride costing millions to construct. They argued that this negligence resulted in a preventable death, holding all parties accountable. As public pressure mounted, Icon Park permanently shut down the FreeFall ride, a symbolic but insufficient gesture for Tyre's grieving family. The lawsuit remains ongoing, serving as a stark reminder of the dire consequences of cutting corners on safety. Tyre's father expressed his heartbreak, demanding accountability and answers for the preventable loss of his son, while the world watched and mourned alongside them. Tyre Sampson's story is a heartbreaking reminder of the importance of safety and accountability. Let's honor his memory by demanding better standards to prevent such tragedies. Thank you for watching, and let's keep advocating for change.